Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 143 of the Jiu-Jitsu Dummies podcast. We're brought to you by Black Belt Digital Marketing. Anything you need to build your business on or offline. It's website design, Google Ads, graphic design, printing. We can absolutely help. Check us out at Black Belt Digital Marketing on Instagram or our website, bbdigitalmarketing.com. You can request a free review of your entire online presence today. My name is Milton Campus. I'm a black belt training out of South Florida. We got Christian behind the camera. We got Bo behind the other camera. Bo's back. Woohoo! Don't forget to like, comment, download, share, click that subscribe button. We'd really appreciate all the support. And joining us today for the second time is Coach Ben Stark.
Hello, and thank you for having me here on Jiu-Jitsu Dummies.
Welcome back, brother. Let me do a couple of quick shout-outs, and then we'll dive into some good stuff. Oh, maybe I got to bring that back. So thank you to our friends over at Flow and Roll. Hands down the best custom gi and no-gi gear in the business. Don't believe us? Visit them on Instagram at flow_and_roll and check out all the custom designs they've created for academies across the country. It's been a while. I haven't done this in a couple of weeks. You can find our podcast on their site now as well. Go check them out. Again, flow_and_roll or flowandroll.com. You get 20% off with code JJD. Also, our friends over at, got to put these on, right? Got to do it justice. Leo Optics, right? Love this. Somebody might be leaving. Did I give you glasses last time you were here?
That looks so good. No, you didn't.
You just staring at yourself?
No, I was looking at you. Look at those glasses. Oh, my God.
Leo Optics is a sunglass and apparel company specializing in these signature bamboo glasses. Their passion is rooted in the jiu-jitsu lifestyle, founded in Southern California with products reflecting the BJJ lifestyle. Code JJD for 10% off at leooptics.com. All right, very cool. I love this right here, though.
Oh, that looks dope.
You didn't get a pair?
No.
I brought an extra pair for you today. I wasn't sure if I giving it.
I'm going to look so cool.
Let's do it now. This I brought. Yep. Let's see. Open that up. You can cut to him. Well, let's wear our Leo Optics together.
These are fancy.
Those are different than mine.
Oh, that's cool, man. Look at that wood grain. Look at that. That looks fabulous.
How do those fit?
I feel like one of the Blues
Just brothers. Gonna say, I feel like, yeah, right. You got those are like a little bit brown to these are like a little bit black. Yeah. These aren't they're not the same.
Yeah, wood grain on here.
Yeah,
oh,
cool, right?
Dope, man.
There you go, man.
Sweet. Thank you, sir.
Again, you can check them out at leooptics.com and use code JJD for 10% off.
Hey, yo, Tommy, get me an espresso.
All right, guys, let's jump in. Ben.
Yes.
You're not going to leave mine? I like the Blues Brother thing.
I want to see you in all of your glory.
I appreciate you coming back on, man. I know you had a busy June.
Yes, sir.
What the fuck happened? You had to like get out of your place and move the entire gym to another location? What happened?
So we were based up in Gardens Plaza, up in Palm Beach Gardens, and the landlords weren't the most forthcoming in care for the complex over a period of time.
Okay.
The city came down on them and they're like, guys, you have to fix this place up. And they were like, well, it'll be easier just to kick everyone out and tear it down as opposed to keeping up the spot. So they gave the vast majority of us, I think out of 10 tenants, 8 of us, they gave 29 days to get out. There was a lady there. She's been there 40 years. They gave her 29 days to get out. And they're like kind of honest about it. We don't even know what was happening because, I mean, honestly, we just didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
We find out that we got the code enforcement hearing for them. So we go to find out what's going on. And basically they were just getting whacked on all these codes, like the stucco's chipping, fix the outside, repaint the building, restripe the parking lot. You have sewage issues in your drainage because your parking lot floods, like all this stuff. Like you have to take care of it. You know, you've got out of business businesses with 20-foot signs. Take them down. These are the laws of the city. And they just weren't doing it. Some of them were like, they had like live wires exposed in places, and they were just like, screw it, we'll just tear the place down.
Have they already?
No.
Is it all empty right now?
I am the only person that got out on timeline.
Okay.
So everyone else, and rightfully so, they're like, we've got 20,000 square feet. We're in the middle of a real estate boom. Like, My rent increased by over 300% in my move. It's insane.
Yeah.
You know, but you love jiu-jitsu. I love jiu-jitsu. Let's do jiu-jitsu. You know, because we got to keep it moving, brother, for the culture. And so, yeah, like, did I get a light?
No.
Oh.
The battery went out on this one.
What does it say?
It's just...
ding.
We're just agreeing with you.
Oh, gotcha.
This will be the one when I disagree with you.
Sad face. But I kind of saw the writing on the wall. Every year, like halfway to renewals, I would go, hey, guys, how we doing? We're doing renewals. What? Yeah. And I'd be on the market already. So it just so happened to kind of overlap. You know, my wife's in real estate. My desk lady's in real estate. I had an agent working at the same time. So it just came down the pipe. We got super lucky. But what's crazy is I now have a good landlord. Like, hey, man, there's a crack. Okay, I saw this leaking. We start build a new roof on Monday. I just called him in. Like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, that's good to have, man.
And you know,
I saw that. I mean, I had never been to your old space. It was an old building. Yeah. The space, at least on the interior, when I saw you taking shots before you moved in, it looked like it had been either relatively new or renovated. Yeah. Right, it had obviously nice painted moldings, like the faux wood floor. Right, I think it had like that nice gray floor.
They did a great job. The person that moved out of the bay I was in was like 2 months prior. It had a new owner. They bought it right before COVID, and so as people moved out, they'd redo the bay. Next bay, redo it, and so it looks great. Yeah. I'm on a much busier street. I have street front signage or view, whatever you call it. I'm stoked. The vibes are good. The place looks great. We're getting a new roof as we speak. So, like, I got zero complaints. My new landlords are awesome.
When I spoke to you, it sounded like you were, I mean, not sounded like you were fucking angry. Oh, you were like, I want to talk. I want to come back on the podcast. I want to talk about this. Man, I mean, it felt like you really wanted to fry like the landlord, but at the end of the day, it sounds like you're a little bit more calm about it and realize like they probably didn't have much of a choice.
I mean, they had a choice to keep up the property.
Yeah, but they didn't.
It's a hotel chain. They bought a shopping center. It's only a matter of time till they try to turn it into a hotel. So this
isn't like a local guy owning a lot. And
it's big. Like very corporate. Big thing is they're like basically the shopping center we were the activity center of Palm Beach Gardens. You had like I was an end piece, MMA gym. Next to us was a CrossFit. Next to us is a giant dance school. Next to them is a music school. Okay. So like if your kids were doing stuff in Palm Beach Gardens, you were in our complex. Yeah. And I mean, at least I made the effort to try and kind of keep us all moving together because I can't tell you how many kids I have that parents are doing CrossFit while they're doing martial arts.
Oh, so you get to the same place, like be in the same shopping center?
Yeah, I got tons of families that are like, daughters are at ballet, sons are at martial arts.
Have you been able to do it?
No.
Come on, follow me over here.
I was trying. The CrossFit and I were actually looking at like splitting a big building. Yeah. It just didn't come to fruition.
Yeah, it's hard. With 29 days, too, on top of it.
Yeah, that was... If we weren't looking ahead of time, I'd probably still be there.
Yeah.
And there's a reason I'm the only one who can talk, because I'm the only one who got out. Because they started serving, hey, do you guys want a couple more weeks? We know you're really angry. We'll give you more time if you sign a gag order.
So they can't talk about it?
I remember the week before I started my move. I did it over 2 weekends. The week before I started it, they're like, oh, we can give you 2 more weeks. And I was like, fuck's 2 weeks gonna do? Just let me shop more?
Is there? You mentioned it's a big company. You can mention the company?
It's Drury Hotels.
What is it called?
Drury Hotels.
Drury Hotels.
Yeah, this will be their first soiree into Florida, I believe.
Okay.
But on that first one, they're like they wanted.
Do they basically want to gut it because they're gonna put up a hotel? Yeah. Is that basically what they wanted anyway?
That's my assumption. But it's very large for a hotel. It's a 14-acre lot.
Oh wow.
So I mean, my assumption is put the hotel in the middle. Like I was saying. Dude, put the hotel on the side, leave the activities in the middle, and then you still got another portion.
There's always like retail space, basically, is what they're going to call it.
Dude, it has a movie theater.
Yeah.
What if you're a hotel owner, wouldn't it be great to say, hey, we have a movie theater? Yeah. It's at our hotel.
It's like, kind of where I live here in Coral Springs. Is like it's now I'm in the new downtown where they're putting up. I don't know if you've driven through down Sample.
It's been a while since I've been.
There's like 2 big buildings going up, 8-floor building. I'm in the one that's finished, and they're building another 8th-floor in front of us, and they're doing that with all retail space downstairs.
It's kind of like Meisner, where it's first floor is all.
Yes, but it's broken up onto 4 corners.
Oh, okay.
So like one corner's been finished for years, where there's like a charter school across the way. Then there's my side, was residential buildings. There's now the 2 lots across, when they're done with this one, they're putting up like a Whole Food shopping center, but the same thing, huge residential upstairs, retail downstairs, and then across the way there's going to be another residential building. So it's going to be a true downtown with like high-rise buildings.
That's cool.
Hey, there you go. Good for Coral Springs. So yeah, so I'm kind of like in that. It's like it's being born.
Gotcha.
So I'm like in the first real building that's like at these residential. But yeah, I mean, it's all the retail downstairs, and they've told us it was going to be the Whole Foods, and it was supposed to be a movie theater, like all this shit. So
yeah.
So
but that's what they were trying for. Yeah. Sorry. So they gave us an extension for the 2 weeks. They wanted another like $1,000.
Yeah.
Security. You don't need security for 2 weeks. Why do you want this extra money?
Yeah.
So
I would have been like, you let me stay, and I'm not paying because you're fucking forcing me out at the last minute.
I'd say like 3 days before I was done, like they were like out by June 15th. So it was like June 12th. They're like, hey, do you want to stay till August? I'm like, I have to be out in 3 days.
But they want you to sign that gag order is what it is.
Yeah. So like, oh no, it'll be X. And the paperwork even was like, if you get out before August 1st, we'll even give you your rent back. But I just read like Section 6 was the gag order. And I'm like, I'm not even reading past this.
Yeah.
I just wanted it on paper so you guys couldn't say it didn't exist.
Yeah.
I have this.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Owning a gym, huh?
Oh, dude, very exciting.
Is owning a gym like when people like, oh, I want to start a podcast? I kind of feel like owning a gym is the same thing. Like, listen, if you want to, don't open a gym. Is my first advice usually on the podcast side is don't start a podcast because it's not going to be what you think it is. You got to put a lot of money into it. You got to hope it takes off. You got to get sponsors if you want to get paid, right? I kind of feel the same thing with the gym. It's just like, if I was going to advise somebody, if I'm you, I'm guessing you'd probably be like, don't open a gym. But if you're not going to listen to me, then here's how you do it.
Honestly,
but what do you know?
I would tell people, if you're going to open a gym, you have to be committed to the craft.
Yeah.
You think it's like, oh man, I show up, I teach kids at 4, kids at 5, I got moms at 6, I'm at that. No. All that part is great.
Yeah.
That's the easy part. The going to the city, finding out that you need 7 different permits for a sticker on your window, getting the fine because you got permit A, but you didn't get permit B. But permit B is what you need to get to permit C. And once you have permit C, you can finalize by paying paperwork D, and now you can put your times on the door.
That bad, huh?
That's the part that sucks.
Yeah.
And like in our move, we changed cities. So I had to redo all of my paperwork for a new city.
Did you have help with that, though?
My wife's a killer.
Okay.
My wife's awesome. So, like, again, she works in real estate. So she's like, this is what you're going to need. This is what we're going to need. I'm like, are you going to handle that for me? Because I love you so much.
Yeah. Man, it's just people can't, like, especially when you get closer to black belt, I guess anybody. And because I own businesses, people always, are you going to open a gym? They think it's like the next. And I'm just like, I can't see myself doing it. It's just, you have to. You got to be. You have to be there, or you have to find the right people. It's very difficult to have coaches that are going to stay for a long time, put in the work like an owner. But then, what do they get out of it? A salary. They want their own gym. Most coaches want their own gym. Like they're building towards a gym. So then you have that. If you're not there, then who's going to come in and coach? And then it's like coaches come and go, and that doesn't look good to students. So
yeah, like my problem is I have such a high standard of what I want presented. That for me to hire people on is very difficult because like if I'm stepping away, you can't half fill my cup. You have to fill the cup. You know what I mean? If I'm teaching to a level 10 and you're teaching to a level 5, you're not a good replacement. So I've been very, very picky and very selective. And what sucks is that means I can kind of only use my students because they know my way. Yeah. And that's what works for me. Yeah. So that's a bummer. But
do you have that kind of help now? Do you have students that really step up and can
growing? Yeah, growing. So I've got a couple young prodigies. Yeah. They do the primary on my kids' classes. I'm like overview, etc. Sure. And then I have one of my fighters, Sham Delva. He teaches my Fridays because I do a lot of traveling for combat night commentary and hell, my team's fights. Yeah, I'm out of town all the time, so having that Friday covered is very helpful. I've recently brought on a fighter from Port St. Lucie, Chris Lafort. He runs a Muay Thai for MMA class for me 2 times a week, and he's doing a fabulous job. And then I have Georgian Olympian Avto Gogolishvili. He teaches my wrestling. Okay. So I do the primary of Muay Thai, I do the primary of MMA, and I do all the jiu-jitsu.
Okay. That's awesome.
It's pretty busy.
Fucking crazy. That's a crazy. What are your hours? When do you start? Do you have morning classes or that's all afternoon?
I got morning classes Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Jiu-jitsu?
Yeah. Okay. more than happy to expand. So if you are in the Palm Beach area and you are looking to train jiu-jitsu in the morning, show up. If we get more dudes, we recently been really killing it. 10, 12 guys in the morning, which is awesome. If I can do that, I'll do it 5 days a week.
Yeah.
What sucks is when it's 2 guys and I'm like, I'm injured, I'm old. Like I can't, if it's a solo, like in this moment, my elbow's been shot for like 3 months. Like I can't partner with you, dude. I am beat up.
Yeah.
So if I got 10 dudes, if I got 4, I'm stoked.
Yeah.
4 is a good group because you can really like get into
mornings
the
are so hard. It's very hard for people.
I run my mornings like super cash. So like we have class starts at 10.
Open mats or instruction and
So I do classes 10 to 11.
Okay.
In reality, most of them are showing up at 10:05, 10:10. Honestly, sometimes the guys will just chat jiu-jitsu and then we'll get into what they chat.
Okay.
And then I don't even start the rolls until class is over. Because everyone's there like, oh, we're here because we don't have like curfew. My kid's at school. I work from home. I got And they'll roll from 11 to 12 and we'll do like, are you familiar with the rise up in the ecological method?
Yes.
I do a lot of ecological. I didn't know it had a name. I was doing it before
I call it drilling.
Right. Like I guess you'd call it like live drilling or like specific.
It's like drilling. It's like a flow drilling.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I'm starting to see. I've made a couple of jokes about it just because I think it's fun to joke about it, like with a couple of real videos. I like it. I believe in it. But the fact that they're naming it like this new thing, again, that's called flow rolling. But I understand it's like flow rolling with a purpose. Maybe like, okay, we're gonna the goal is this, or we're drilling this from here, start here, and when this happens, and you end and start over, right? Like
it can get really nitty gritty. So I started with some of my newer guys where I'm like, I'm not even teaching you moves right now. I'm teaching you goals.
Sure.
So like we're in half guard, bottom guy's got elbow frame, chest frame. Top player, hands off, but weight on.
Sure.
Your job is to get chest-to-chest contact and stabilize. His job is to keep you the hell off of him. So in this round, bottom player cannot win. They are always working. Top player can win by getting chest-to-chest connection. That's very simple. So I started that. Okay, now we've acquired chest-to-chest connection. So now we have to work backwards. Bottom player, how do we get them off? So I do a little teaching in terms of, hey, this is where you have support, this is where you have strength, and this is where we can regain placement, etc. And over the course of the hour, it's just a progressive. And next thing you know, you've like sorted out a movement. And I found that I was getting a lot more people in that one class that are going, oh, I understand how this works. I can now start to apply it as opposed to like frame, shrimp, bump, hit. They're going, I'm not confused.
Do you think that you have to, okay, new kid off the street, new person off the street, can you put them into that ecological environment? Can you put them in immediately?
Yes.
Or do you really have to go over like the super basics, like how to fall, right? You know, break falling and a little bit of shrimping and the really super basic stuff where it does require drilling before they can know how to do that, to move and
like when we're talking
understanding pressure.
When we're talking about like the line drill kind of stuff, shrimping, scooting, hip escaping, I give like a quick once over, or one of my blue or pro belts will take the kid through and like do it in the warm up. But at the same time, if I'm teaching, say, scooting, one of the drills I use a lot with new people, I'm seated, I'm doing forward, backward, or side scoots, just sliding my butt around, and I'm just trying to hook your ankle with my foot or grab your ankle with my hand. If I can do that, I'm good. I'm just keeping you in front of me. If you circle off, I got to be able to, you know, turn and see.
Yeah.
Little stuff like that is how I've started like teaching them those bottom mobilities.
Okay.
Because everyone sat there with their kid and kind of slid their butt around. You can do it. We're just giving it purpose now. Yeah. Kind of thing. I still revert back. I find purely ecological method, I have a hard time teaching specifics. Like, not to toot my own horn, I'm a bit of an encyclopedia. I can play multiple games. I can break them down.
I watch your stuff. I'm very impressed with the way that you coach and teach. And
thank you.
I've seen it.
I appreciate it. But I have a hard time with like getting into the nitty gritties of some of these more complex movements in an ecological method. Okay. So
well, that's where I say, like, you kind of have to know the basics to then not teach the ecological, for them to be able to apply an ecological approach.
It's definitely
the way
helpful.
I understand it.
Like because I'm still relatively new to it. I've only been playing with it for a couple months. What's nice is it doesn't have any like finite rules. Yeah. You can do what you want with it. Like I spent 2 weeks on like sit up to Kimura from guard and just how we can get there, control from there, squeeze there. And like from the jump, it's like a 2-minute explanation. It's like, all right, our job right now is to split hands and sit up, armpit to shoulder, armpit to delt. That's all you got to do. Top player, try to keep them on the ground, keep your hands. And next thing I know, I got first week people who are getting good at hand fighting in this specific way to get to a good position to make an action. And I'm like, oh, that was so much faster than normal.
Yeah.
But I still feel, if not every day, depending on how good the class has been catching on in the last couple of days, I will still take 15, 20 minutes and teach. And then this is what we're looking for. This is our end result. And now we're going to build it from the bottom up. I noticed more than anything, no one likes talking in public. No one.
Oh, I love it.
Because like me too. That's
like
why we're here.
Right, yeah. What do you do? I talk for a living. Literally. Yeah, right.
But that's what I need their feedback.
Yeah.
To like help with the next step. And most of it is, all right, guys, we were just stripping hands and acquiring position. Where did we have a really easy time with this? Did an inside pummel work? Did an outside strip work? Did an elbow pull work? Where do we have, and it's only ever like 1 or 2 people that are like, I have something to, and they're all very timid.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, we hang out. Like when we're out of class, you guys are like yelling, just talk. We're talking jiu-jitsu. Like, but once they start opening up, oh man, he just kept crushing my frame. I couldn't keep this. And then, oh, we can do sub game based on frame control or whatever difficulty, et cetera, that people are having. I find what the number one thing I hear when I do it with the kids, their parents are like, that boy ate and took his ass to bed. I love you so much.
You know, the speaking in public, I understand what you mean. Like people are scared to ask questions or they don't want to look stupid. So we talked about, I recently left the school where I got my black belt, went to another school. But anywhere where I've been and I had a higher belt, I realized that I knew that there was the white belts didn't want to speak, or when the coach says, hey, does anybody have any questions? And I know they have questions, I would be the brown belt or the black belt asking that basic question that I knew somebody wanted to ask, or I knew was unclear, or you hear a little rumbling and I know that, coach, what would you do if this happens? Or can you show me again how you put your foot there? I know what needs to be done, but I would ask it for that.
Yeah.
The basic question to do that. Guy. I love coaching. I love speaking. I love like being the guy that's just like, hey, take that new guy over here and show him the basics. Like I call it the Jiu-Jitsu 101. All right, get in my guard. I'm going to get in your guard, show you how to break guard so I control mount, like, you know, to like maybe an arm bar. Like I consider that like the Jiu-Jitsu 101 of like, once you know this, you're going to know a lot of movement now. Right? Yeah. So I'll take somebody through that as quickly as I can while I have them. My new school, it was great because I've been there 3 weeks. Was sick this last week and had a bad shoulder and a groin pull all at the same time. So my first class there.
How often were you pulling your groin?
How often am I?
Yeah. Daily? They say 20 times a month is what you want for optimum prostate health.
I'm not pulling that part of my groin. Okay.
My bad. Sorry.
I was going to get into it. I was like, yeah, you know, my stomach hurts. And, you know,
so
this fucking guy, he set me up. So, but at that school, it was a friend of mine is at that school. He'd been after me for 10 years to come visit. I finally visited after I was like looking for a new school, and he's showing about moving up to
Palm Beach Gardens.
A little far from me. So immediately he shows a move, and then he says, "Hey, professor, would you like, do you have anything you'd like to show?" And I'm like, "Actually, yes. My old school, there was one instructor, and you couldn't even speak. Yeah,
that's
it was
wild.
Like, yeah." It was, I should say, there was an instructor and assistant coaches, like 2 and his son. But it was like, you've got 4 or 5 black belts, and it's never like, hey, would you like to show your thing or run a class? Like,
that's crazy to me.
So immediately I'm in this school, and he's just like, hey, would you like to show something? And I actually showed, he was doing basically like half guard. And we did like heavy Z guard and lockdown stuff. So everybody's feet were getting caught in this kind of sweep that he was showing. And I said, hey guys, look, when you do get caught here, there's an outside lockdown here. You get the outside lock and pressure, like you push it out, they fall like this into you. They give you their back. And it was like, they were amazing. Oh, wow, that's just so cool, right? Yeah. But it's like some people that are like getting stuck in something and they don't know what to do from there. It's just like, oh, just lock your leg. And now you've got a back take from this thing that failed, or your feet got caught up and you couldn't get out. But just my point was, just the fact, like, my first, like, real class there, and he's asking me to show a move. So I thought that was amazing. It's just like a different vibe.
Yeah.
There's like 10 black belts that are there.
That's cool.
They, most of them have a class that they coach. So just like a much different vibe than I came from. So, but I love the coaching. I love, you know, he'd instruct and I'd go over to the white belts that I see clearly don't understand what's going on. And hey, put your foot here and help them. And then for it to turn on, like, they get it.
Dude.
That look in their eyes, like, I love that. I do that with my business and training people. I love when people get it or I hear them say something.
You have another business?
No.
What is it?
Black Belt Digital Marketing right here.
Unbelievable. You know, I have a business. It's hammerjujitsushop.com. Get yourself some of the coolest shirts in the jiu-jitsu world. Okay, back to the show.
I keep on hitting the freaking button on my chair. I keep on going down 3 feet. What's the Instagram? I just saw the Instagram. We were talking about it before.
Hammer Jiu-Jitsu Shop.
At Hammer Jiu-Jitsu Shop. Okay.
Check it out.
We'll share it. Make sure I'll remind me to share it. I'll put it
if you're a fan of death metal designs or pro wrestling.
Is this one of the designs? Is
this is one? Metastasis Humanis designed this shirt.
This is one of yours as well?
Right? Pain equal. I will sign off on that. Pain does equal compliance. When you are passing guard, if you make it hurt, they will let you pass guard. I stand on that.
No joke that this is my favorite shirt. This is my favorite gym shirt. This is my favorite shirt to
Next Level CVC. Next Level, sponsor me. You guys make fabulous shirts. I've been buying them for a decade.
Good luck on getting a sponsorship from them. You should, do you just get them printed locally yourself?
Yeah.
I use keeping inventory and stuff.
Shout out Deerfield Custom Prints.
There you go.
Ask for Jesse. Tell him Ben from American Top Team Palm Beach Gardens sent you.
But you have to say it like that. If you don't say it like that, he's not even going to take your phone call.
He's like, why are you talking to me like a person, bro? Get out of here.
So go back to love coaching. And I really have, I do watch your stuff. I do love when people leave their kits. As soon as I see your post about somebody leaving a kit, tell everybody what you do when somebody leaves their gloves or their shin guards.
It's been a pet peeve of mine forever. So like I'm a very casual coach. I'm chill. And, you know, people get forgetful or they take advantage of it. You never know. But people leave their stuff. Now, an old buddy of mine from England, his name's Danny Mitchell, fought in the UFC, bare knuckle, Bellator. He's been all over the place, old school vet. I saw he was doing burpees. And I'm like, why is this man doing burpees? And I read underneath, he left his kit in his own gym. And so to set the standard, he did what he made his students do. And so I messaged him, and he's like, yeah, mate, if you forget your stuff, 1 burpee per like. And I was like, I'm going to ruin it. This is the best idea I've ever heard. And, bro, I did one the next day. He still hasn't paid me. He owes...
How many? What is it?
So it was actually my assistant coach. My old assistant coach. He taught like 2-3 classes a day for me. He was a fixture. And everyone loved him. So when you get the opportunity to shit on someone you love, you fucking take it. And he got up to like 360. Because also, I'm sharing it. I have 5 Instagram profiles. I'm sharing it to all of them. I'm
putting
pumping
in the stories, right?
Yeah. My buddy Danny, who I took the idea from, sees it. He's got like 20,000 followers. Hits it.
I put out one of them, more than one of them. I put them out a couple of times. I put them on the stories. I definitely like them all the time. Now I'm like, I got another one. Yes. Like.
Dude, I'll like and then be like, I'll like from my second account, be like, this is my second account, my third account, my fourth account. Like, it's so good. But yeah, he still hasn't paid. I left his shoes in the old building, so they've thrown them out. Oh, wow. You pay your debts, brother. Pay your debts.
You know what? I'm just realizing we lost Bo again, didn't we? He just did.
Where'd he go?
Bo, where are you? What are you doing? You're supposed to be taking pictures. Smoking. What are you doing, bro? Where are you? What are you here? Well, we didn't ask you to come up to go smoke in the back. What the fuck?
I missed you.
Ben, leave him alone.
Just Ben and I started.
Yeah. Fucking thanks. This is costing me money, Ben.
Hey, if you guys ever get invited to the Podcast Junkie studio, they have espresso now.
Hey, Tom. He needs another espresso, right?
Tommy!
Who's Tommy?
I don't know. It's just the name I gave to a guy.
To the guy that doesn't get us coffee?
Yeah, I have enough coffee. I'm good. If you couldn't tell already.
I can go make one.
No, dude, this is full. I'm just goofing.
Make me a latte. Don't spit in it, though, please. Promise me you won't spit in it.
Dude, spit in it twice. It's his favorite
flavor. Do the
flavor.
cafe latte.
I'll try.
Unlock the power of your online presence with Black Belt Digital Marketing. Their reputation management program ensures your Google business profile is seen by more potential customers, Black Belt Digital Marketing is your full-service digital marketing agency specializing in local SEO and reputation management. Boost your business today. Visit bbdigitalmarketing.com. Your success is their priority.
Miss your morning routine, BioPro.
Special thank you to the crew over at Flow and Roll for all their support. Flow and Roll is renowned for their incredible no-gi rash guards, shorts, and leggings. Flow and Roll has quickly become the premier custom apparel provider for academies big and small throughout the United States. Reach out today to discuss your custom order and ask about their incredible pre-order program. You can send an email to flowandroll@gmail.com or visit their Instagram at flow_n_roll and shoot them a direct message. And yes, they can create an awesome custom gi for your academy as well. Visit flowandroll.com to check out their awesome designs, and while you're there, pick up a Jiu-Jitsu Dummy signature tee exclusively at flowandroll.com. And remember, you'll get 20% off your purchase of t-shirts, rash guards, or gis with code JJD.
We got a night. This is like we're
You are posh, my friend.
They spare no expense here. You do it better than me. You could do a good podcast junkies here in Boca Raton, Florida.
If you're looking to make a podcast and get yourself into the realm of entertainment, come check out Podcast Junkies here right near Meisner Park in East Boca Raton.
Well, right there. Come on. That's a commercial for you. You got to sponsor this guy. He's looking for a sponsor.
Dude, I'm not. Contrary to your advice, my old coach actually reached out to me and goes, I'm angry with you. And I'm like, why? And he goes, why don't you have a podcast, man? You of all people. And I was like, I just don't kind of know how to do it.
So let's talk about that. So you mentioned, I hear everything, so I may not have said anything. Definitely wanted to have you on again. Knew immediately that I'd love to have you back on. You were like, hey, yeah, if you're ever looking for a co-host, and I was like, I heard it. I didn't say anything because I really didn't know you yet. And I was just like, I mean, is that something that you're looking to do or be interested in doing more of these with guests, with me and you, with guests?
I love this.
This is the problem. There's no money in it.
That kind of ruins it.
There's no money in it. But if you like, the thing is like to maybe get sponsors, like you get a sponsor that could sponsor you personally, gear, money. Yeah. Like you could do that. We have a handful.
A name? I've got a title.
We've got a handful of sponsors. I mean, you're an American Top Team coach. You're,
yes, sir.
Like that's a prestigious. One of the gyms that I was going to go to was ATT, the new one in
Coral Springs.
In Coral Springs.
Oh, with Bruno. Bruno's a very good coach. He's great.
Wound up being that they do a lot of open mats with my school, so I feel like I got the 2-for-1 hit because I'm.
Get this. He's dropping off the coffee.
This is poison, bro. Give me some sugar.
You want sugar?
He's going to give you a kiss.
But yeah, I mean, it's the thing is like, there's not a ton of money in this. Yeah. Like where I found the sweet spot. I love my sponsors. We get product. We get money in some cases. If what happened here for us is that we do get business thank you so much for Black Belt, digital marketing. So we just recently we did our own commercial finally after years. Did you want one?
No, mine's full. Okay, I'm good.
So we wound up doing a commercial for ourselves, but I get business from jiu-jitsu guys who own businesses. Yeah, we've had people have been like, hey, I got a buddy that has this business. Could you help him? And that happens. Hey,
I was actually going to talk to you about what should I do with my clothing company, HammerJujitsuShop.com.
Well, right there. See, that's it. What you just did right there is some of the benefit that's in it for you. I'm not greedy to a fault. Where I'm just like, hey man, you get a sponsor, go ahead, get it, keep it. If you were able to use this, or you saw a way to use this as a vehicle to promote the stuff that you have, this is a living commercial, then you can promote. Hey, I'm gonna be I don't know. Do you sell tickets when you do the combat? Is it combat night?
Combat night. Yeah, combat night sells tickets.
Do you sell tickets and get credit for selling tickets? Like the fighters do. Like, hey, you get like here's no. But if you found ways like I can come on to promote this thing, no, you got to give it a week. Like it should be done 2 weeks before because it's going to come out a week before. Like things like that. Like this definitely could be used as a vehicle for you to do stuff like that. If there was like sponsorship, then there could like we figure that out. But I mean, this. I don't know how much you know about when we started. It was me and like 4 other training partners that did this together. It was my idea. I asked them to come on. Everybody got paid in gear.
Yeah.
Everybody left with a T-shirt. Everybody left with something that a sponsor gave us. Everybody got sunglasses.
Some
that they gave
Bio Pro Plus, everyone.
But like things like that, the neutral zone and the CBDs that we've had, like they've always just sent us a ton of stuff, and everybody was happy to take 2 hours once a week, 2 to 3 times a month. And it was just like, shit, I leave here with, a month, I'm getting a couple $100 in gear. Flow and Roll gives us an amazing deal. Like, hey, listen, just give me $50 for a gi. And like, we're getting gis and, I gift them stuff, like I got stuff for you. I already told you hey, I get to do something I love, talk about jiu-jitsu. You got a $100 pair of sunglasses. I got a $50 rash guard for you, right? Like, so that became like,
dude, I love your shirt, by the way. I lift in your shirt all the time.
I see you posted it, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
I always see you wearing it. I was going to bring you another one. I'm like, I always see him on. Let me not bring him another one. I did bring something else for you, though.
Hell yeah. I appreciate it.
But yeah, I mean, we could talk a little bit off there. I mean, if it's just, hey, listen, I got something going on, let me get on, and then we can talk. Or, hey, I got somebody that wants to come on. I want to come on with them. That's always fun.
Actually, I got a guy for you that you're going to like.
Back to the whole, it was 5 of us. It used to be 5 of us in my house, and then it got smaller with COVID. That's kind of what kind of turned it around. But it was like 5 people talking about jiu-jitsu, and it was fun, and it was like a round table. And then we started bringing a guest in, so then it was just like one less person, the guest. And then, again, COVID, we got a little smaller. We moved to Miami, so it was further for everybody. Then my boy Miguel, he was with me for a couple of years, and then he got promoted at work, and it was taking more of his time, so it was hard. But I mean, I love just talking about jiu-jitsu, whether it's some famous guest, not famous guest, or somebody comes in. The people from Ohana Jiu-Jitsu? Yeah. They commented on, they're coming. I got them coming on in August. I know they just opened up a gym. Yeah. Monique did Monique and Bruce came through and did a seminar at the new gym I'm at.
Oh, awesome.
So it was already like, cool.
Yeah,
I met them,
Bruce
and I saw the dynamic, and I heard them telling their story, and I'm like, you guys should come on. You're launching this new gym, come through.
Hell yeah.
So I'm definitely open to that. I mean, I love doing this, but just people things you have going on.
Definitely.
If we figure out.
I got a guy you're going to love. His name's Drew. He's my personal strength and conditioning coach. He trains at my gym. Lived in Japan for 10 years. Trained with Imanari, trained with Sakuraba. Okay. Fought in like the Pancrase Neo Blood tournaments, but is purely like a catch wrestler. Okay. With like some judo background. Lives his life as an actual like anime character. Like,
what does that mean?
Like if you watch like Baki the Grappler with the training montages.
I don't know what any of that. I don't know anything about anime. I know what anime is, and that's about it.
Like the corny, I'm a hero. I will train hard and achieve my goals. He is that guy.
Really?
He's the best. But he's also that guy who's like, I will train hard and eat and achieve my goals, but I do love whiskey. This is amazing.
I just learned the other day what like the porn version of
hentai.
Hentai. I've heard hentai. I didn't know that was like basically the porn or the adult version of.
Yeah, I found out about that by accident trying to buy samurai fucking animes in high school.
Yeah.
Oh, this looks dope. That guy's got a sword. That girl's got big boobs and a sword. 3, 4, 5 minutes in. Why are there 9 tentacle penises?
It's funny because like I have a massage therapist who's a woman who's actually was like a former power lifter. She's really great. And as soon as she heard that I was a martial artist, she'd start talking to me about she immediately assumed that I watched like all anime.
You're a nerd.
And like all of these like martial arts movies.
Did you tell her you were an adult?
Yeah. It's not something that I've like delved into, and I'm just like, I don't, know that I would even like it.
Here's the thing.
I don't like martial arts movies because you could see through and like the fakeness of it. And it's like, it's fun to watch Cobra Kai, but it's also like, really? I mean, you barely, like the move didn't even look good. It's just fun and reminiscent of being a kid, Karate Kid and stuff like that. Have you seen the movie, The Life and Times of Bobby Z? No.
So Paul Walker was the star.
Okay.
He made it around the time where he was a purple belt. All of his fight scenes were done with Chuck Liddell, Pat Miletich, Jeremy Horn, Matt Hughes, Tim Sylvia, Like the whole. I think he had a 3-minute fight.
That was like the
with
whole
Robbie
team. That was like one team, right?
Yeah,
back then, wasn't
he
it?
had like the entire
guy?
Militich team
Yeah.
in his movie, plus Chuck Liddell and some other guys, and they're all fighting, and all the fight scenes are, well, I mean, they're obviously dialed up, but they're like realistic. Like he uses a triangle and an armbar transition.
Who's the guy? Who's the star?
Paul Walker,
Paul
the
Walker.
guy from
Okay.
Fast and the Furious who passed
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
Not the best movie in the world, but a really fun watch.
What is it called again?
The Life and Times of Bobby Z.
Is Bobby Z somebody who was real?
No,
It's total fiction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like I'm the best super fighter cop
Yeah.
guy.
You know what show that I loved the premise and I loved the show, but then when they would do the fight scenes, I can't remember the name. It was one of the Marvel when it was still
Kingdom? No,
one of the Marvel TV shows when it was still on Netflix before Disney bought Marvel and it
White
became
guy
a Disney.
speaking Chinese?
No, the black dude that was like had super strength. And
Luke Cage.
Luke Cage. I thought that was a great show, but as soon as the fight scene started, I mean, there were literally points. It was just like there was 3 inches between the punch and the chin, and it was just like, who's cutting this together? Like it was good. It was unique in the way that, like, if you liked hip hop and R&B, you loved it because they integrated music into it. So like there was like. It was cool how they kind of brought it in, and they would be like playing music while they're doing the fight scenes, but the fight scenes were fucking awful.
It reminded me of the blaxploitation films in like the 80s.
Okay,
kinda.
yeah, maybe that was
like
a little bit
because it was that down home kind of Brooklyn.
It's Harlem.
Who was the director? Spike Lee. It had a Spike Lee kind of like area, like look, not necessarily obviously very different content.
Yeah. I can't even watch that. I just don't enjoy. I liked the show.
Did you watch Iron
whenever
Fist?
they
Because
had
that's the worst.
same thing.
Here's what bothered me with
Like
Iron
the
Fist.
story, I liked it. I
Yeah.
liked the fantasy of it, and then the martial arts itself was pretty bad.
My wife is from Taiwan, so I've been doing my best to learn Mandarin for like 3 years. If you're making a multi-million-dollar product for Marvel, why has your star not taken any Mandarin lessons? His Chinese was terrible. Secondly, this put my wife in a rage.
Did you say your wife?
Taiwan.
She's from Taiwan.
Yeah. At one point in the show, he meets a Japanese girl, and she's a special ninja. And he's speaking to her in broken Chinese, and she's speaking to him in Japanese, like they're having a real conversation. Oh, it made my skin crawl.
That was in this one.
I was like, do you think we're all that dumb? They sound totally different.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
But
that
there's
was
like such
in my heart.
such a small circle of the population.
It was so bad.
That would even know, right?
Yes.
That you lived over there. You lived in Asia. Right?
Oh, it was so bad.
So yeah, I just since like I was a kid in Karate Kid, like you go back and watch Karate Kid now, and you're just like, man,
horrible.
These
But
fight scenes are awful.
Don't write
1, 2,
anime
and 3.
off.
You know?
Don't write anime off as only being fighting stuff. Like there's some really cute bubblegum stuff. There's family stuff. There's art heavy. The crime dramas are unbelievable.
Yeah.
The like Death Note is a very, very famous one. And it's about a insanely intelligent young man who gets a book from some kind of deity where if you write someone's name in it, they die. And how he's going to use that to make Japan
I could use
a
one of those right
crime-free
now.
place. It's crazy.
I have a name or two I'd like to put in that book.
Don't we all?
Bo, you missed it too. He just said the word cup earlier, and you had left, and it was your cue to bring up two girls, 1 cup.
Let me get
I was
2
like,
cups of espresso over there.
I looked over as he said cup, and you were gone. I was like, oh man, that was Bo. But I know your mind. You heard cup, you would have
Bo,
jumped
honestly,
all over it.
how many times have you watched 2 Girls, 1 Cup?
It's in the 40s.
In the 40s? Bro, I watched like a minute of it, and I was like, I'm good.
I have never ever. I don't want to see it. I just don't want.
It was pudding.
It came out like 2 years ago. It was not real poop.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean it's. I've lived in Germany. It could have been. Okay.
Is it like you just said Germany?
Yeah.
Is it German girls, or I just thought it was like Asian women for
I don't
some
know
reason?
what it is. If you've lost a world war, you like getting pooped on. It's a thing.
I have.
Think about it. What's known for scat? Japan, Germany.
Scat? Is that what you call it?
That's scat is a scatological. It's a medical term for poop.
Wow, I'm learning so much today.
I told you I'm like an encyclopedia. I know a lot of stuff. Typically weird stuff, but
I
stuff
would
nonetheless.
I would love to lock you in a room with Bo. It's like smoke and lock you in a room with him for about a half hour. No, for like an hour.
Who's weirder?
Yeah.
Let's compare.
No. Just that, like you said, you're an encyclopedia. This is my encyclopedia over here. This is like Bo knows a lot about
Bo knows
a lot.
football.
Yeah,
Bo knows baseball.
Bo is informed about a lot of stuff.
Shit that nobody gives a
No,
Yes, dude, that's the best stuff to know about.
That's why I want to lock you in a room somewhere else. I didn't say like I want to sit in a room with you. You said
No,
you got that right. I want to lock you in a room with
you
them.
want the highlights. You want the highlights.
And I want to say who drives who nuts.
I'd probably give up first.
Bo is definitely somebody that I go like. I'll ask him like, hey, what do you know about this? Or
Strangely,
hey, what do you think
a lot.
about this? He's very informed.
But what do you think about my clothing company, HammerJujitsuShop.com?
Bro, make sure you put every time he mentions the put his Instagram, put the Instagram and the .com, please. So
I'll be opening up for Chris Angel doing sleight of hand on a street corner here in Boca. Be close, be ready. The entertainment's real.
So let's talk about. I mean, you have this great voice, and we joked about it a little bit before. You do a lot of commentating.
Yes, sir.
I've heard the I mean, you just like, is it something that like developed, or were you just always?
I've always been interested in it. I always thought it was cool. So like as a kid, I wanted to do 3 things. 1, be a pro wrestler.
Okay.
2, a stand-up comic. 3, a fighter.
So the pro rap, did you like stand in front of the mirror and do like your old brother? Like, did you have your version of like
No.
that like being interviewed by who's that little guy that used to interview everybody?
No,
Guy?
I was the kid who took like the lawn furniture pads and threw them in the grass. So we had a daycare in my house, so the banisters on our deck were 6 feet tall, so the kids couldn't climb over. I would get on top and like front flip onto like a cushion. Like, I could do this. This is great. This is totally up my wheelhouse. The talking came about later when I lost my 100-something pounds and started talking to the ladies.
Hey.
That's when I started going, I developed a lot of personality being a fat teenager. Now we got some moving, boy.
That isn't right. Being the funny fat guy and then being
Getting
in
a little
shape
fit,
and then,
dude.
Yeah.
Like, my daughter is beautiful. She's lovely. She's a mixed child. She's very cute. And I'm like, we got to fatten this girl up so she has to develop a personality and life skills.
She's super skinny. She like real
dude, I got muscles and a big butt. My wife is very tiny and thin.
Yeah.
She got all the good parts. So she's like skinny with a muscular big butt. Like, you can't go to school in Florida like that. We got to fatten you up. You got to learn how to like tell jokes. 4.5.
Okay, you got plenty. You got plenty of time. You got plenty of time.
We gotta break you a little bit, so you have to develop a personality.
Only child?
And
Is that the only?
Yeah,
the only child?
I don't want any
Last
more.
one?
That's
No,
so
really?
many.
Oh, boy.
Dude, there's so much work.
I would think like I always wanted to go for the boy.
So
I have my biological daughter, a stepdaughter, and I would have loved to. So once I got into the jiu-jitsu world, then it's just like seeing like guys with their kids and training. I'm like,
yes,
I would love that.
100%. But in a way, finding out I never even thought the possibility of having a daughter was present. Never.
Why,
I was just so
or something?
No, I was just so sure I'd have a son if I had a kid.
Okay.
And honestly, like my wife getting pregnant was like surprising.
Okay.
Like she came home with the ultrasound 2 days before I was going to get my sperm count checked. Because I was like, I have to be sterile. I'm 38. I've never even had a scare. And then she's like, I saved you $200.
Well, you didn't have a scare because you were always safe, right?
That's very true, actually.
You were always very,
dude, I came up
safe.
in the 80s. Like, I remember when AIDS popped out. I had girls in college yelling at me because I'm like, well, we'll only use condoms. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But I was also like, hey, I'm a fighter. I'm very
Get
poor.
that out of my face unless you have a condom as well.
Put it in my face unless you have a condom. Like, I was also thinking about my career. I was already fighting. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, well, I can't risk getting something, so wrap it up.
Tommy Guns, right? Tommy, remember?
Yeah,
Right?
Tommy
Guns,
yeah.
right?
I remember Chuck Liddell went on Good Morning America, like drunk and coked out, and challenged him to a fight 10 years after everyone knew he had AIDS.
Really?
Yeah, it was a bad look.
Wow. Was it from drug use?
I mean, he was definitely inebriated.
Yeah.
That is
no. I'm going to say, Tommy. Like, did we ever find out how he got AIDS?
No clue.
Yeah.
Probably being famous and rich, orgies with groupies.
Yeah, but I mean, he was also like super muscular. Could have been, needles and
Yes,
stuff.
very
like that.
possible. But you would think you're a very famous boxer. You can afford some spikes, Sorry, that's terminology for needles.
Yeah. Don't know. Yeah. Don't know nothing about that.
I'm trying to find out, brother.
I'm doing the TRT thing. I jumped on the
Dude,
bandwagon.
I'm right here. I'm fucking right here. I
Do
want
it.
it in my life so
Why,
bad.
how come you haven't done it?
I did a I did a BPC 157 TB 500 cycle, the Wolverine stack.
It's like is that
Yeah.
peptides?
Yes.
Peptides.
So like
For
my elbow primarily.
did it help?
Because not at all.
Oh, okay.
Like
I'm sore all over all of the
So,
time.
okay.
And people are telling me try some peptides.
So I know BPC 157 derives from your digestive system. So when you use it, even though it has the effects of regrowing or healing soft tissue, it directly goes into your digestive tract and it will improve your digestive tract. So I had those upsides of it. My general aches and pains diminished. But in terms of just my tendonitis, it just didn't do a ton.
Yeah.
I did get to the point of like injecting it directly into my tendon sheath, which hurt like a bitch.
Do you have to shoot that yourself, or do you go to them? Okay,
It's
so
normally
they give you.
it's a sub Q. Pinch your belly fat, stick it in, easy peasy.
Gotcha.
I had my daughter do it once. She
great.
chickened
Start
out,
early.
but she's like, "What are you doing, Daddy?" I was like, "Medicine," and she's like, "Can I help?" And I'm like, "Okay." Whoop.
Moving around that needle.
I didn't get the results I wanted, but I did get some results. I'm actually planning to go back to CPI in Tijuana.
Okay.
As soon as I can. If you guys are interested in stem cells, reach out to me. I had an unbelievable experience with it. It did really, really good for me. I know I had one friend who didn't have so great of an experience, but for the majority
Mutual
of people,
friend.
yes, for the majority of people that I know, they have had good experiences with it. If you have questions, it's new, it's weird.
So I've seen you do some stuff with
Yeah.
Is that considered a testimonial? Did you work
Yeah.
something out with? Like,
So
you
just-
have something going with?
So I'm a bit
Full
of-
disclosure, I guess. Now that I'm asking, well, that's not what I was asking. The business mind in me goes, "Oh, you got a sponsor?" You know?
No.
Hey, I want to know.
I went out there because I had a friend who knew one of the guys that's in charge. And I was like, hey, give me information. Because I was trying to go to BioAccelerator. I was trying to go to some other spots. But I couldn't get any direct information. They wouldn't just be upfront with me. So this guy was upfront with me. And he just laid it out. And I was like, okay, that makes sense to me. I've been looking into it. But now that I have some like more substance, I was like, let's run it.
Yeah.
And I ran and I went and I had a unbelievable time. Firstly, best tacos I've ever eaten on the beaches of Tijuana.
You've been once.
I've been once
or
in
you've been twice?
2021.
Okay.
Oh, so I take it back. I did go twice only because a radiologist got COVID when I was there the first time and they couldn't do one of my injections.
Okay.
So they had me back a couple weeks later to get it done.
Okay.
So
it wasn't like the
one
full
trip.
visit. You were
Right.
finishing up. Okay.
Yeah, I was just getting something that got messed up.
So we actually, so full disclosure, right? We spoke here.
Mm-hmm.
You spoke so highly of it that I told when we found out that we both knew Ray, I said, talk to Ray. Ray is really jammed up. Talk to Ray. Let him know. I spoke to Ray. I said, you got to speak to Ben. He just had an amazing experience. And he went.
Yeah.
And then he
did not have
he did not have great results. So a lot of inflammation and a lot of pain.
Yeah. Has that subsided yet? I'll call him after the show.
He's better than he was before.
Okay.
But he's still
I
don't want to say, I hate to say, he's worse than when he left still.
Okay.
He's not, he feels worse than when he went. But it was, we've kind of had the discussion with as much pain as you've had, when that pain is finally gone, will the pain before that diminish equally? Like, he was really jammed up though. He had some really big problems. Like, will it go equally the other way? Does that make sense? Like, will that swing go like, wow, I'm amazing now after
like
6 months?
In my case, it did.
Yeah.
But I believe he had more like displacement of bone, where mine was primarily soft tissue based.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like an injection is not going to fix your bones.
Okay.
You know, that I don't know.
Would love to do it for my shoulder.
Yeah,
Like, my shoulder's like all fucking jammed up now. I know that I've,
So what's nice is like you can do some of it in the States. There's a couple places in the U.S. that are apparently doing legit like mesenchymal stem cells. Joe Rogan talks about them all the time.
Okay. He always mentions the CPI though, and I'm
Yeah.
always like, all right, they're in Mexico. Why is nobody talking about anybody in the States? And, I did it too.
It's still illegal.
And it's illegal or it's legal.
So okay.
And just by the way, right, they're now a sponsor of the UFC.
Oh, they are?
Yeah,
Fabulous.
yeah, they're official sponsor.
Way to go, Scotty.
U.S.
So,
locations
in
US.
the U.S. So like, my wife and I had some car accidents in 2018, and we looked at getting her stem cells here, and the stem cells that they were offering were basically, we're going to cut your lower back open, we're going to cut a hole out of your hip, we're going to take the bone marrow out of your hip and spin that down into stem cells that we would then inject into your injury. But then, in my wife's case, you're getting 30-something-year-old stem cells, 42. But
so that's
then
the
you're
big
getting
difference,
42-year-old stem cells, your stem cells. So they're definitely going to take because they're yours,
Okay.
but they're 42 years old. I want the stem cells of a 0-year-old.
Okay.
You
So
know,
they're getting this like from the
brand new-
placenta,
yeah.
right, or the
So
from
at
the
this
umbilical
point,
cord and things like
at
that.
this point, I believe they're cloned for the most part.
Okay.
So I actually banked my daughter's placenta and cord
Wow.
so I can get my biological stem cells out of it. But then I found out afterwards, you can't do that. So we banked
In the U.S.
Yeah, well, period. So we
Okay.
banked them for life. It was like 10 grand. And I'm like, oh, great, because I can use this when I need it later on as I get older. Maybe my daughter needs it. But nope. You can only...
So nope because of legality, or no, there's no way to do it.
because of
There's no
legality.
scientific
So
way to do it.
I reached out to them. I was like, hey, I'm going to go get stem cells in Tijuana. Can I get my stuff to send over to them and they can break it down? And they're like, no. You can only use this like if your daughter has any of these 8 severe disorders. Other than that, you can't have it. I'm like, it's mine. Or, well, it's hers.
I think
but I pay for
that'll
it.
continue to change over time, and
has
maybe
to.
there'll be,
Yeah.
there'll come a time where you'd be like, oh,
Because that
great,
would be
yeah.
the way to go. Like, you're not going to get, like, I got 100 million stem cells when I went to CPI. From what I've read, in the, like, umbilical or placenta, you're going to get, like, 100 to 200,000.
Okay.
So they would take those and clone them into the 100 million.
Okay. Now, a question about you personally. Without going back, we talked about your story.
Yeah.
People can go back and look at the last episode and talk about the accident. You got run over by a
Yeah.
truck. All that
yeah.
shit was crazy. Are at post stem cell
Yep.
treatment? How are you better now than you were
1,000%.
before?
Yeah.
And has anything? How long has it been? A couple years?
2021. So about 3 years.
Okay. Have any of those effects worn off? I mean, you're training every day,
Yeah,
so it's new
right.
injuries. Are old injuries better, worse, the same?
I am better now than I was before the treatment.
Okay.
And I had enrolled in about 2 years before the treatment. Since then, I've done no less than 800 live rounds per year. I'm squatting upwards of 400 pounds.
So you're saying you signed up to go 2 years before you actually went?
No, I got run over. I got a car accident.
Okay.
And I was recovering from that car accident for about 2 years.
Okay.
Then I went to CPI.
Okay.
And ever since getting back after my healing period, which is like 3-4 months, since then I've done 800 plus live rounds a year, every year, plus lifting and adding all this extra stress and physical work with the gym into my life.
Okay.
Am I beat up? Yes. Am I run down? Yes. But I'm not sitting on the couch doing nothing. Like I'm kicking my own ass.
Yeah.
You know, I'm 42. I'm not dead.
Sure.
So I'm definitely adding wear and tear. But as a whole, like my plan was to go back anyway. I have 19 disc injuries. They're all going to need a little attention. So if I'm wearing and tearing in the meantime and then fixing it up,
Okay.
You know.
They give you a deal on the second one? Or?
So I'm a bit of an influencer. Like I don't have 100,000 followers, but in the niche of jiu-jitsu and mixed martial arts, I have a decent following. So I get zero money from them. But with the, I guess, influencer program I'm on, if I refer X amount of people, I get to go back.
You got some type of code or something?
No.
Do your Hammer Jiu-Jitsu t-shirt
Well,
commercial.
if you are looking to go to CPI for stem cells, reach out to me. You can find me at MMA Coach Ben on Instagram. Send me your questions. I'm happy to talk to you about my entire experience and my healing process. I will connect you with my guy, Danny, and Danny will put you on the list as someone that I've referred. And if you go, I will get credit for you going.
Very
It's that
cool.
simple.
There you go. What's the handle again? Tell them one more time.
MMA Coach Ben. MMA Coach Ben. Find me on Instagram. Yes!
I love the Ben Stark. It's just as soon as I have Ben Stark, I'm like, is that his real name?
It
Stark.
is. Uncle
Stark,
Tony, horrible gift buyer. You'd think a billionaire would be just throwing awesome gifts around. He doesn't. He's cheap. He's cheap. Stark Enterprises. Get out of here with that.
Okay.
You couldn't give me
I
a
thought
tank.
that's where he was going. He's like,
I want a tank. A Hummer with a turret. Anything.
So definitely, you're obviously a fan.
Marvel?
Of the stem cells.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Obviously a fan. I know one of my old coaches. She had surgery on her shoulder, and she's like, I wish. She didn't talk about stem cells, but she's like, I wish I never got the surgery. She lost like range of motion. She's like, this arm can get, could go back, and like she's like, this one can't go back. So like I'm like, so I know that I probably need surgery, but
have you had an MRI?
I have not had the MRI. It's bad. I know there's something wrong in there. I went to get the MRI, and I was in one of the really small ones, and I had a little bit of a I had to press the button that they say, press this button if you feel uncomfortable. Immediately I pressed it, so I got out there like, we're not charging you because you did it quick.
Bro.
But it was like...
I did that once. It was horrible.
So let me say that, this is a good story though, because it was very strange. So if I would go again, if I had to go again into a small MRI machine, I would take out my contacts. Because it was so closed off, my contacts wouldn't let me focus.
You're giving me anxiety just talking about it.
Now my mind is going fucking, because it's like this, it's just that plastic, but it's like that, like beige plastic. But now my eyes are not able to focus. My vision is not focusing. So immediately my mind is translating this as you're like passing out, you're having a problem.
Ugh.
And that immediately made me start breathing heavy. And I was just like, okay, just close your eyes, calm down. And I couldn't. And then also like, I'm
it's
pretty
like hugging
big.
you. It's squeezing you on
as
the
soon
sides.
as I could feel it like this, like I could feel it on my
coffin.
sides, and they were like, hey, listen, we've got a bigger machine in Fort Lauderdale. Go down here. It's more open. You'll be fine.
Have you
I've
been in
had
open
MRIs,
MRI?
but I've been in that same MRI, but for here to here, my head was sticking out. It was no big deal.
Yeah. If my head's sticking out, I'm good.
Yeah. No, this was because it was my shoulder. I'm in the machine.
Yeah.
And again, it was like I had like no depth perception. It felt like it was like right here on top, and then I felt it on the sides. Then it started to feel like closing in on me. Oh yeah. And I haven't had that feeling since I was a kid.
Now, just for me talking about it, I fucking hate it.
I couldn't stay in there. He was like, the guy walked away. Says, if you have any problems, just press this button. You'll let me know, and I'll pull you out. But he's like, you got to remain still. As soon as he walked away and I was in there,
I did that once.
I was like, but thank God I did it quick, because if he would have started the machine, he was like, if I would have started, we have to charge you, and like you're not getting a refund. He's like, we'll immediately refund you. I didn't even start, so I wound up getting out of there. But I just never went back, and then I always have that thing in the back of my mind with the coach. So, I do need to get the MRI. I still have the prescription. I can go anytime.
Look for open MRI or seated MRI.
Yeah.
Open MRI is like 2 discs.
Yeah,
and so you can look around and it's open. It's not so bad. Seated MRI, it's like a 1990s sci-fi movie. You're just sitting in this chair and it's like here, so you have a line of sight.
Yeah.
But the problem is the images aren't as good.
Yeah.
Like if I'm getting images, then I want the best images.
I could do it in a bigger machine that would clearly. I mean, they're clearly giving you the button because this happens.
Yeah.
I had not felt that kind of claustrophobia since I was a kid, and we had a finished basement in my house in New York, and we had these benches that you could sit on and watch TV downstairs, and they were all like toy chests, basically. Like you can lift them up, and they were storage and toy. My sister, we play hide and seek. She'd know I'd be in there, and she'd sit on it. So then when I was trying to get out, I couldn't get out.
You mean your
And
enemy
I would
for
fucking
life?
Freak out, yeah.
Oh.
I have not felt that kind of claustrophobia since that. And you're talking about, we do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
We're in very like precarious positions. People are sitting on us, or sitting on our chest. You can't breathe, and that's fine. My head is at whatever and you could tap and it's over. But that was I came out like, oh my God, I felt like I was gonna die. Ugh. But I haven't gone back, and I should, and I've got to. I know there's something going on in there. I was getting cortisone shots, and it was going
in
on.
the tube. I got a shoulder done, and they just put like me in this smaller tube.
No.
It was like here.
No, they put me. I guess
they were mad
they
at
only
you.
have one.
I
guess they only have that one machine.
Do you have more than one tattoo?
I have.
Fun MRI fact: tattoo ink has metals in it. So, as a guy who is heavily tattooed, they started wrapping me in blankets because if your skin touches the tube, the metals in the ink can start to pull, and it feels like you're on fire.
Really? Oh shit.
Yeah, like the lining. you can feel like the lining like burning.
Thanks, Coach Ben.
No problem. Welcome to my nightmare.
Great. Something else to worry about. I'll go back. I do have to get it taken care of.
Just get it done, brother. But what's nice,
I was getting cortisone shots and I was fine
PRP.
for a while, but
You won't have to travel. It's $1,000, $1,500.
yeah.
PRP, it's like the little league of stem cells. I had PRP 11 times, and it does work. It's just not as strong as stem cells.
Okay.
But you can do it locally here in Florida.
So I do go to, I do my TRT at Forever Young in
You
Delray.
doing Tren, bro?
What's that?
You want some Tren?
I don't know, what is it called?
Tren is the one that makes people crazy. That's the one where they're like,
I forget whatever, whatever's in the bottle. Andro and what is it? ENT something.
Okay. It's stuff that keeps your testes on.
I just go like this. I just take what they tell me to take.
Like a raver in the 90s.
I was so against it for so long because, I'd done a little bit of steroids when no, I did steroids in my 30s and a little Winstrol, a little Deca, did a little what is it? HGH. And I did HGH, and when I had a heart attack in my 40s, and I kind of blamed at least probably the HGH was
it does make your organs grow.
And then
does it make your penis grow? Because I'm just saying. Like if it does,
I'll tell you something about that. I'll tell you something about that off air.
Oh, it definitely makes you more sensitive. I know that.
The TRT has been great.
Throwing ropes.
I work going to the gym. Like I absolutely do. Like one day jiu-jitsu, one day weights, one day with maybe one day off a week. But I go back and forth when I'm healthy. But definitely like the gym is just like a different. Even when I roll. I don't do a lot of cardio other than the cardio I get from rolling. Like I could roll every roll.
Yeah.
And be done and even winded and tired, but just like keep on going. Like it feels like I have an extra gear.
Have you ever noticed that the youngins these days take rest rounds?
Yeah.
What is that?
I
understand if we have an odd number of people and I'll be a good teammate, I'll take one for the team. But like, coach, I'm tired. Are you fucking crazy? Yeah. Go not die. That's your job this round. Pick a white belt, have them try to kill you, and you just fend them off.
At my new gym, I went in and there's this blue belt, like probably my size. He's probably heavier than me, but he's like a thick built guy.
He
blue
needed
belt.
to be dealt with.
Yeah, listen to this. So I'm the new guy. Go to an open mat. Yeah, you want to roll? Yeah, let's go. Let's roll.
Is it harder being the new guy as a black belt? Like, because there's certain expectations. There's everyone trying to kill you. Because I worry about that when I travel.
I have a good answer for that. Yeah,
I want to stop in, but I don't like. I was in New York. I want to go to fucking Henzo's, dude. I want to go, but I don't need some 16-year-old phenom breaking my leg just because I'm a black belt.
Yeah, man. You got to leave it at the door. You got to leave that part of you at the door and just go in and know that you can learn as much.
No, I just don't
from
want to be
a blue or purple belt. Like there's something that they might be able to teach you.
Oh, hey, I train under John Donaher. That was a timeline that I was in New York. I'm a black belt. I'm a legit black belt from a legit lineage. Not that I'm going to walk and be like, hey, look at me. It's not who I am. Yeah. But, oh, man, you're pretty good. Where are you from? But next thing you know, I'm a competition 24-year-old. And I'm like, dude, I got nothing to prove. I'm on vacation. I ate pizza 20 minutes before I got here.
Yeah.
I just feel like, like when you look at Craig Jones, he broke 2 guys' legs in Ukraine because they're rolling all hard and stupid. Like,
yeah, they want.
I don't need any part of that, dude. I'm 40-something.
They want the check mark on there.
Bro, I got a bad back. Leave me alone. I'm just here to have some fun.
So me going to this gym, it was, yes, that's something that I thought about. Especially, I did see they have like a ton of black belts, which was one of the reasons I went there to see that many black belts. They have a lot of cops. They do a police, not police only, but they have a whole bunch of cops that come on a Friday open mat. I think it's 8 or 10. I forget.
That's cool. Yeah.
Haven't been to that one yet. I'm just still new there. But your question was, how does it feel? So I haven't traveled a lot to jiu-jitsu in a lot of places. I did do a lot of open mats when I was younger. In this world, we had a relationship with another gym, so like they would come to us on a Saturday, we'd go to them. So we were constantly rolling with these guys that we didn't train with during the week. So then you get that different look. Fast forward, I'm at the last gym for 7 years. Didn't travel a lot, just didn't. my ex-wife did not. I wasn't in a position to be like, oh, we're traveling someplace, let me bring my gi. It was just like, really, you can't leave the jiu-jitsu alone for 1 week, you know? So it wasn't even a possibility. I didn't even try to. It was just like, no, it's just family time, where it was just like, oh, this is amazing. I can travel and jiu-jitsu. So I just never was able to do that. I leave this school. I go to this new gym, literally right in the same town across the street from where I live. And I knew somebody there. So I come in, super warm welcome. First of all, the coach that I got my black belt from didn't even he would never call us professor. It was very much like, there's one professor here. It's him.
Yeah.
I walk in, I meet the professor, the owner there, and he's just like, are you purple belt? And I'm like, no, I'm actually a black belt. Just got my black belt. He goes, oh, I'm sorry, professor. And he completely talked to me. Everything about the conversation kind of changed. Not that he would be disrespectful to a purple belt, but it was just like, oh shit, you're a black belt. There's a certain level of respect. You have trained for a really long time. And there was just a different level. And it was just like, hey, Bob, meet professor. Can you take him over, get him to sign the waiver? It was like, professor. I'm like, wow, I haven't been called professor this much since I got, Do
you find it unsettling?
No. So it was actually, everyone was super respectful. They have a rule there. I don't know if this is like one of the old school things, but like if you get to class late, or really everybody does it anyway, but if you get to class late, especially if you got to class late, when the rule is that you have to shake the hand of every black belt. Yeah. So like everybody's training and doing stuff. So like you're literally going and waiting for that guy to be done in a roll or whatever he's doing. And like you cannot train until you have shaken everybody's hand. That's just their rule. I don't know if other gyms do that. My gym didn't do that. It was very my old gym was just like, yeah, you come on the mat. Some people that would be like visitors would like wait on the side for the coach to come.
I like that. I just like that vibe
Yeah.
for some reason. Like if I'm late, I should be ostracized ever so slightly.
Yeah.
It's enough to be on the edge of the mat and be like.
So I'm only there 3 weeks now. So 1 whole week of not
And
training.
you love it?
And I love it. And was there worries about, I haven't trained enough that I've trained with everybody yet. But I've, other black belts have been like, hey, let's roll. Brown belts, and some guys, I might ask somebody to roll. It's been like nobody's trying to take my head off. Nobody's trying to prove anything.
That's good.
Which was good because you never know when like somebody's going to test you. Now there was a moment where there was like a 17-year-old brown belt. He's about 6'2", probably my weight at his height. And I could see one of the black belts go like, and like he sent them over to roll with me. I just finished a roll and I'm like going to grab a water.
17.
So like I see him, I see that happening. I'm done with my roll and I'm going to get my water. And he's like, hey, you want to roll? I'm like, let me just get some water. I go next one, and then we didn't get to roll. But I saw like, not in a disrespectful way. I think they wanted to see how I was going to handle myself with this young gun who like is beating up all the other black belts because he's just the young gun.
Yeah.
Like he's 4-stripe brown belt.
Yeah.
He's there. He's about to get that black
young.
belt. Well, you figure, right? Training from a kid, 16, right? 16, 17, 18, he's right there. So,
I got a 16-year-old who.
And I believe I think his father trains there as well. So, but
nepotism. I'm just kidding.
super open. Nobody. It never felt like anybody was being disrespectful. My first class there with my buddy who coached, I told you before, he like asked me to show. He's like, hey, would you like to show a move? I'm like, I actually got something off of this. Like, if I was like, that's great. Just to be involved like that is different than what I've experienced to date.
Open vibes are awesome.
I love it. And again, I think that you can judge a school by how many black belts are there. Because a black belt's going to be like, if he sees some, like people aren't going to stick around that know, like, I don't want to be around this environment. Like they just have tons of black belts and it felt good. And I've got a buddy there that's been there. Our timelines are the same. We met at the very first new breed that we both went into at white belts. He knew my coach. He introduced us. We stayed in touch over Facebook for 10 years. He's been inviting me since I met him that day to come to his gym, and I never went. And immediately when I was leaving my gym, I was like, that's one of my options. Hey, Garth, what's going on? I want to come by. Bro, yeah, come on.
Is Wayne there?
Who?
Is Wayne there?
No. Went over it. It's super warm welcome. That I had 3 gyms that I was going to go to check out. And as soon as I went there, I was just like, there was the same vibe as my first gym, which was really open like that. And I felt so at home. I'm like, besides the fact, the one of them that I was going to go to was American Top Team in Coral Springs. And like their coach was there at the open mat. Yeah. So like there's this open environment that they go back and forth. So I was like, oh, I can be here. It's super close to my house. I know a lot of people. Somebody else I trained with was there. And I was just like, oh, this is perfect. And I get access to American Top Team over there, open mats. I'm like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Then one other school I was going to go to, I
Have you met the guys
didn't
from
go
the
to.
Underground Grappling Club yet?
They go there.
Pastor Ryan.
They go there.
Ryan's the best.
They were also there.
Yeah.
Oh my, the guys that came over from there, the open mat.
They go hard.
They go hard, and they're fucking like some big dudes.
Yeah.
I went to an open mat where when I hurt myself, that open mat that I went to, there was a brown belt and a black belt. I think he's one of the guys that runs some of the classes at American Top Team. This big dude, dreads. I don't know if you, he's like they said, he's like a coach there. Both of them over 6 feet tall, 250. We were talking about this. How much you look like? 250. Yeah. I didn't get to roll with either one of them. And I'm like, I'm 230. This is my weight class.
Yeah.
I'm like, these guys are beasts and much younger than me. I'm just like, Jesus, man. But it was like, you just kind of it was so many people, and it's so open on open mats. They have so many different schools that come there. It was really cool. I don't mind getting beat up, the whole let me learn a little something. Yeah. But it's definitely a little humbling when I can't get outside control from a blue belt. So I was saying earlier, there was a blue belt there. I'm like stuck in his side control. I'm like, this guy, it just felt like there was a rock on top of me. And I'm like, again, black belt, and I'm off to the side and I'm talking to one of the black belts. I'm like, that guy, he goes, yeah, don't worry about that guy. He goes, he used to be a rugby. He used to play rugby. I'm like, oh no, he's like
built like a brick.
Yeah. Just fucking built. And he goes, and now he's a sailor. And he goes, so he's just like raising sails all day long. And I'm just like, and he's like a little bit younger than me. He's probably in his 40s. I'm 52 now. I'm 51 now. And I'm just like, this guy I just couldn't, he just could control me. His strength was just fucking crazy. But I didn't
just check his oil, bro.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here.
But I didn't, but to your point about feeling like the black belt, look, I got handled by a blue belt. He didn't submit me, but I was, I was just like, I can't get out of this.
One of the I don't know if it's good, but I do this when I visit places. Whoever I roll with, I just let them submit me. Easy, quick,
get it out of the way.
Get it out of the way. Are we cool now? Can
now
we just have a good time?
Jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Calm down. Who cares?
Yeah, I haven't been there long enough to experience it where I'm rolling with guys that I'm sure that I'm going to run into guys there that are going to be like a little bit like, yeah, let me take down this. Black belt. The one thing that I kind of, when it does happen, and
hit him with your car in the parking lot.
No, you know what? I just most people don't think I'm 50 plus. And when they hear I'm 51, then it's like not so much of a fucking huge win when their 25-year-old, 30-year-old ass
I forget that I'm in my 40s.
Handled me or it's been a tough round, because then they realize they're like, okay, I just beat up a guy
I beat
twice
up an
my
old
age.
guy.
Yeah, he's fucking old time.
It's not as cool.
But
you don't look 51. You look great.
Thank you, man.
So good. Is it the Bio Pro Plus?
Yes, it is. Get yours now.
Use promo code dummies.
What's our code on? Is it J? I think we're JJD.
JJD.
It's been a while since I read it. I got to find that.
So we were talking about commentary work. I'm sorry I cut you off.
Yeah. No. Let's so talk about it.
I talk a lot. I just do a lot of talking.
Yeah.
I talk about violence and punching and kicking.
So we went. I don't know. We got off. We got onto stem cells, but you were talking about being a fan. Of wrestling when you were a kid
and cutting promos. I don't know. I figured out relatively early on that I was going to be a better coach than a fighter. Not that I was a bad competitor or a bad fighter. I was just better at communicating with people.
And for those people that don't know, you were a contestant on.
I made my way up through the MMA ranks a little bit. I got on the Ultimate Fighter, did a little something, but made most of my name as a coach. Okay, I would think. I just knew communicating was where I excelled. Yeah. And in the way that I teach, I'm extremely descriptive. And then it just kind of transferred over. I would be watching fights with my friends. I'd be like, what he wants to do is this. And then Joe Rogan would say what I said. And then they would try and do it. Yeah, it's great. And like, dude, why don't you?
Told you.
It's like, why don't you do this? I was like, how? That was that's all it was. How? And, I'm just around. I get featured on a bunch of podcasts and just someone hears me and it gets sent to a guy. And they're like, hey, you're at our shows anyway. Do you want to do this? I'm like, sweet. Yeah. And then I'm, hey, when we're in Fort Lauderdale, come by. I'm like, great. You know, I'd cut out a couple fights before one of my guys work their fight, jump on the mic, blah blah blah. And now I'm on the team and I travel with them. I do most of their show. They got a show coming in Tallahassee. That's like a 7-hour drive for me. I don't
You got to send me a message when they're down here, or like anywhere West Palm Beach down.
Okay.
And definitely want to come out.
Definitely.
I know there's the guy from Combat Corner has that really big bushy beard.
Yeah, Combat Night. Mitchell. He's got that big. old beard.
I follow him. He does a lot of funny stuff. We actually had him scheduled like years ago. Either something happened with COVID, he got sick, or I got sick, and we had to postpone. I'm almost positive it was something along those lines, and we never got reconnected.
He's a good interview.
But is he down here?
He's in Orlando.
He's in Orlando. Okay.
But he does a show.
See, like that
up
would
and
be a
down the
perfect.
state.
Like you're cool with him, right? Obviously, right? That would be a cool one to be like,
Cool.
Hey, Mitchell, when you're down here, let's make some time. Like I got to know ahead of time. I need a couple weeks to book the space, and I can be flexible. It doesn't always have to be on Friday. But if you know you've got something going on. And you can grab someone like that, be like, hey, look, I'm going to take you through. We can do a little promo. Yeah. I know he'd probably be down here for the fights. This would air after it. So we got to, like, if we could figure out how, let's do some promo before, we can use this and then cut some stuff. And
if you're not against it, you can definitely zoom him in.
Yeah, we could do that. It's, I like this vibe.
But he runs shows almost weekly. Yeah. So, like, if you get him and it's just so happens that this weekend is his event in Fort Lauderdale, he's probably got one in Orlando, St. Pete, St. Augustine, Tallahassee, or Jacksonville in the weeks following. Wow. And I'm assuming you have at least a full Florida reach.
I mean, it's nationwide.
Yeah. So more than good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll figure something out. That would be something like to have you back on.
Actually, like half the reason I was coming down today is because I'm going to check a venue for one of my events down in Fort Lauderdale, Marina Mile. So I'm the representative for the International Kickboxing Federation's Point Muay Thai and Point Kickboxing in Broward and Palm Beach. Okay. We've done our last 3 events in Palm Beach, and they've gone off awesome. But realistically, there's just more people in Broward and Dade. So I'm looking into coming down towards like Marina Mile. Okay. So we're like, 20 miles from Palm Beach, 20 miles from Miami, and we're done in the center. Yeah. So that's where I'm going after this because apparently they don't have phone numbers at National Guard Armory Reserves. I don't know what
you have
that's
to go
about.
Visit.
Yeah, we have. That's crazy.
You should get the eyeballs on the venue, though, right?
I mean, I've been there before for other events and stuff, so I know what it is. Okay. I just want to be like, hey, can I have this on August 25th? But I can't even plug my own date because I can't get it reserved yet. Well, but we're shooting for August 25th. If you're a kickboxer, let us know. Come compete. Enjoy.
That's awesome. Before we go, I had this down. I wanted to. I mentioned. I mean, obviously, this has been out there a lot lately. The CJI, CJI,
yes,
versus ADCC.
The Craig Jones Invitational.
You have any input onto that? So on 2 levels, you talk about the individual fights, or just the fact that he did this. Yeah. This battle with them. He chose to pick this fight. What do you think about that? Let's start there.
So I dig it. I like it a lot. So if you think about it, ADCC is renting out like the Staples Center or something.
Yeah, they took a step up.
If you can rent out the Staples Center, you can pay your competitors to compete. That's not unreasonable. If you took the money, which I believe Craig Jones said he checked the cost, it's like $2 million.
They took the last venue. He's in the venue that they had.
Right. So he's like, if you can spend $2 million on your venue, you can spend $1 million or $1.5 million, and then have $500,000 for your 100 competitors or something, and they can each get some money. Jiu-jitsu has been like that forever, right? The IBJJF just started giving $2,000 for the winner of Worlds. So you're the best in the world, and that is valued at $2,000. In the meantime, at Worlds, these people are paying their annual membership anywhere from $60 to $500. That's just their membership, plus the $150 or whatever it is to compete.
Travel,
and you're
food,
and you're also doing it in
team members if you need a coach.
And you're doing it at the Pyramid in University of UCLA. Sorry, this ain't cheap, but you can't pay your people. Like I understand if you're not giving money to the white belt world winner, but black and brown maybe at least to the top 3, just to the 1. Oh, but now you're being drug tested in a sport that is openly doesn't give a damn kind of thing. Like
then they stopped that, didn't they?
I have no clue.
Yeah, I
am not a big fan of the IBJJF. I think they're money grabbing. I'm not interested. They can suck it. But Craig Jones ain't wrong. Women at ADCC were making $5,000 to win. So you have to beat the best 16 girls in your division to make $5,000.
And then it's also like only two.
Dude, I'm not famous. I've made $5,000 on a seminar. I'm not even famous. But you're one of the 16 best competitors in the world. $5,000? That's wild. So from what he says, and it could just be his angle, but either way, it's a good angle. He's like, I've competed at the highest end of the sport. The competitor should be compensated. And if you're not going to do it, God damn it, I'm going to do it. And he set the precedent. And it took him 2 weeks for Mojasim to increase the women's to equal the men's. And then he goes, hey guys, guess what? You can beat the top 16 competitors in the world and make $10,000, or you can just show up to my event and make $10,001. Oh, did you win? $1 million. $1 million. That's an insane amount of money.
He put out a video, and I can never know when he's joking or not.
I had this conversation with him. He said, we ran into some money problems, so we're going to cut it in half. It'll be 500, 500. Okay.
Is that real?
I don't know.
Yeah, right. He put out the video, and then then his partner is like massaging him in his Speedo. So you don't know when it's like where's the joke start and end. And
his gimmick is so good because you just don't know.
Yeah. I mean, nobody's dropped out other than Mikey Musumeci dropping out only because they couldn't find somebody to from the fight.
But the fact that he's getting all these guys, like, who are the brothers? I can't remember. I think they're from Pedrigo.
The Rotolo brothers?
The Crunch brothers? I
don't know.
They're some of the Pedrigo fighting systems guys.
Pedigo?
Oh, yeah.
Pedigo.
They were like kind of taking the world by storm. They want, because to even get an ADCC, you have to go to qualifiers and either be enough of a name and top 3 it,
now,
or
you're going to a tournament that you're paying for. It's essentially a tournament that you're paying for. So there's also money they're making money there now too.
Yeah.
So
right. It's like, yeah. And I understand, like if you're already famous, you already have a name, you don't have to pay, but go to the qualifier. Or you did good last year. Now you're
you have to get, now you're forced to do their tournaments in order to even get in.
If you're like, say I'm 20, it's reasonable for me to need to go and do the advanced bracket and win, and then maybe do it again. It's like, hey guys, notice me. But if you're already like on the scene, you're a name, you still got to go through all that, and I got to pay you to go through it. That's crazy. But I think a lot of that's why we're seeing all these guys that had originally accepted the offers into ADCC or are of a bigger name that are switching. Because, hey, man, you want to fight 16 of the best guys in the world to make $10,000? Or do you want to just show up and make $10,000? And, oh, did you beat 16 guys? Now you get $500,000 to $1 million. I'm going $500,000, bro. 100%.
Who do you think the biggest get was? What was the biggest coup in all of this?
So
I have my answer, but who do you...
I don't know everybody.
Okay.
There have been a lot of names.
Yeah.
And I follow MMA more than jiu-jitsu, just to be honest.
Sure.
So I saw the Pedrigo guys we were just talking about. They won qualifiers, multiple qualifiers, got their invitation, and was like, nah, that's a big get. Mikey Musumeci, big get. The Rotolo brothers, big get.
That's my, for me, I think that's my big one.
Yeah,
the
like
Rotolo brothers.
All these
for both
names
of them,
that have been popping. They're all going CJI. Who's staying ADCC? Gordon Ryan.
Yeah.
But
this is like, is this whoever went on the ADCC side? Is there an asterisk on next to the names of the people that win this year?
Of course, because they have to be, because the field has been split.
Yeah,
and you got to think, hey, are you doing ADCC because you didn't get invited, or are you doing ADCC because you're one of the guys that has a backdoor deal with Mojasim? We can't tell everyone that we pay you because then other people are going to get paid, but we pay you. So I don't know if that's the case. It might be. I'm not sure.
Fucking sucks, doesn't
but
it?
they talk, like Craig Jones talked about there's guys who get paid to compete, but not everybody. Why is that guy worth more than me? We're the same one of 16. Like, I understand Gordon Ryan's doing a super fight. Give that man a check. Cool. But if you're doing the tournament, why are you getting paid?
He's only doing the
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I think he said he's doing the tournament.
I think he's doing
the super fight.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll do the super fight first, then jump in.
Yeah.
I mean, he is the freaking best ever, period.
Yeah.
No question.
I could have had tickets to that first one. Flow and Roll was a sponsor.
Yeah.
And he's like, I have tickets. Just got to get out there. It was kind of last minute. And again, was in a relationship where it wasn't so easy to just be like, hey, I'm going to jump on a plane and go watch jiu-jitsu.
Hey, you're a man. Okay.
Now
we're going red pill, blue pill. Here,
now I'm a man. Now I'm a single man.
I can make my own choices, right, honey?
You got like the knife. You seen those videos, like the woman off to the side with the knife? You see her in the mirror.
My wife is not right here judging me.
My wife is wonderful. I love her so much.
Thank you for being a part of my life. You give me real freedom.
Because apparently my ex-wife's friends listen to the show, so when she's a good woman. We weren't on the same page.
Oh man.
See, I said it. She's great. She's a great person. She really was. That's the truth. We just couldn't see eye to eye on certain things.
I'm still married to my wife, and I love her to death, and she's insane. So, you know.
I'm like, I think about it sometimes. I'm like, oh, this is just the way it is for everybody.
Yeah.
I just chose to like.
Oh no, dude, they're all nuts, bro. They're all nuts in the best way possible.
Bo,
I love you so much.
Is he right, Bo? How long you been married, Bo?
75 years.
25 years? Is your wife completely crazy? She's never going to hear this, Bo.
No,
she's
of course
never going to
not.
hear this.
She is not crazy. She is the best.
She's so opposite of me.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it works.
She's so opposite of you. That's why it works. Just to make sure everybody here.
She's like adding baking soda to vinegar.
Explosive.
Oh well, no, you add vinegar and baking soda, and it goes like it does that foam.
Bob's all about erupting.
Perfect pH.
Okay.
She neutralizes my vinegar.
All right. Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah, man.
That's so
She
sweet.
neutralizes my vinegar.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen,
It's gelatinous.
it's gooey.
All right, guys. Ben, always a fucking pleasure. This is the second time. I know I was gonna have fun with you. I don't even think I went into any like the questions that I actually had. I mean, we talked about some of the stuff.
Lightning round.
No, we're not gonna do the lightning round. We did the lightning round. We'll wait. We'll wait on the drill down for another episode because since we just did that. But appreciate you coming on, man. I'd definitely love to talk to you about you coming on more. We'll figure out how to make this work for you. You know, right?
You guys are in trouble. I'm here all the time.
I'd love to have you on, whether it's just having you come on more or we could talk a little bit, figure something out. But
here's what we should do. It might not be doable here because it might take too long. But we should take like some of these smaller events that are like on Fight Pass or what Flow and Roll and stuff, and we should air them and put us in the corner and we should talk about them.
We could do that.
We should definitely do that.
Could we? Or do you prefer to do that with an MMA match though?
I'll do it with absolutely anything.
And you got your well, I mean, we could do both jiu-jitsu. I don't know what are the rights, like the airing rights and stuff like that. If to have an event on, like you have to.
I don't know.
You have to be careful. Like, that's part of the problem.
If it's a live event, yes. Now we could take some of the best fight scenes from anime, introducing you to the genre, and we can break down those fights.
The hentai ones.
I'm not really trying to share hentai with other people.
Yeah.
that's a personal moment between you and your VCR.
I'm down to have a conversation either way.
Hell yeah.
And one of the things too, I wanted to. You had mentioned that Fight Circus guy. We should. I don't. He's
John.
He's in
Thailand.
He's in Thailand. Does he ever come here?
Yeah. He's a
we could
US
always
guy.
zoom anybody in, but I love if they're around or gonna be around. Like that would be. I mean, that shit that you showed me was
the best.
Fucking crazy.
When he comes to States, he's normally in the Midwest. Yeah.
Did he fight was it like him fighting like 3 midgets or just 3 men?
Two. So when we started the 2-on-1s and 3-on-1s, it was like a heavyweight and like 2 145ers. Or a heavyweight and 3 125ers.
And he looked like he's like 6 something, right?
John's like 6'2", 6'3", 250.
Former fighter or just kind of knows a little bit, trains?
I believe it started just like drunk at a bar in Thailand and it's like, if you fight, you get a free bar tab. He's like, I like free bar tabs.
Yeah.
And he likes training. He likes fight sports, but he's not like training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he runs this Fight Circus.
Fight Circus is all him. Yeah. He's a big boss.
Yeah. It's, over there, is it a big deal over there?
No, it's he likes niche
it's more of a
club
spectacle
scene.
kind of thing?
Yeah, that's the point. The goal, like, it's not, he's like, this is not sports. This is entertainment.
Okay. Yeah.
He's like, I'm having midgets wrestle in a ball pit with punching. Like, we called it the hockey fight. We took the ring, we covered it in like dish soap and put 2 guys in there in like Running Man, Arnold Schwarzenegger movie outfits and had them box on slippery soap.
Yeah.
Like it's all stuff like that. at one point we were talking, he said his goal was to get a reoccurring, like a residency in Vegas.
Okay.
Like get one of the casinos to bring him in. He's like, and then we have a show and we run this every day,
Okay.
kind of thing. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'd love to get together with him.
Hell yeah, I can set that
That
up.
would be really cool. So I gave you some glasses.
My wife's going to steal these from me. I know it.
This
Get
is
your Leo optics before my wife takes them away from me and uses them herself.
I gave you this. I brought this.
Oh, that's dope.
This was a thing that we did with Flow and Roll. We helped design this little.
Cool.
On the back. This is actually.
Is it a quadruple XL?
For me. So I brought an XL and a double XL because I wasn't sure which one.
Rash guard. I'm
run,
a double XL in rash guard. Yeah,
These
double.
run pretty fit, not super tight fitted, but like
Yeah,
I wear the.
I'm
XL,
very skinny.
I got a little, yeah.
I'm very skinny. I don't know what you're talking about.
So the heart is my thing because I had the heart attack. So you see like the shaka, little jiu-jitsu,
Cool.
or like the peace symbol, the shark.
Sick.
So double. You saying
Yeah,
double?
I think double.
Okay.
I've been lifting, brother.
There's
see these guns,
Let me
dude?
just double check. He's been doing that all show. Is this yeah?
Hey, yo, Tommy, get me an espresso.
There's your double XL.
Thank you, sir.
Did I? What else? And I got one other thing for you. Oh, I was giving you one of these.
Oh, I thought you were going to give me a spanking with
A
that
little
paddle.
CBD
Jeez.
lotion. Oh, we could do that. We could do that next show. That'd be
Please
the next
don't.
show.
I'm so sorry.
That's a little bit a CBD lotion from Combat CBD. So you can.
You know what we
so
do with lotion.
We'll give them a little shout out here. So combatcbds.com, and you could use code JJD for, I believe it's 10% off. We've got BioPro up here. I take this stuff, bioprotech.com. Get $30 off with code JJD. I was trying to figure it out before. I forgot the code.
30% off.
30% off. Now you got to buy. You're gonna have your order has to total more than $295. So it's like you got to get at least you're gonna get the kits. $30. Did I say that? $30. Excuse me. $30 off with code JJD on an order totaling $295 or more. That's the total.
That's not
So-
bad. That's 10%.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Since
Very
we're
cool.
throwing some codes out there, if you go to
Okay.
hammerjujitsushop.com, use promo code IG20, save 20% on any of your purchases, get your sick kit over there. Thank you so much.
You turned on Siri somehow.
Heyo!
Well, she got code 20% off. Yeah.
Yes, Siri wants to buy shirts.
Yeah, dude. What else? Who else do we have to shout out?
Sensei Bars and Bears?
Oh, McDojo? Rob from McDojo?
Oh,
Sensei Bars
I
and
knew I
Scars?
recognized that face.
Yeah. It's Rob
He's
from
done some
McDojo.
really cool stuff, man.
Yes, he has.
I've got some other news for you,
Yeah.
McDojo. Reach out to me.
Put them two in a room.
Oh, dude, that would be raucous.
He's a fun interview. Have you ever met
I
him?
watched your interview with him. I
Yeah.
haven't met him personally. I've seen some stuff he does. There's a guy I follow online called Goob U2. He's more of a power lifter, bodybuilder guy. He does a lot of like exposés on like people that fake their photos, pictures, competitors.
Yeah.
But recently he's at one point in time he started getting threatened by an amateur MMA fighter's dad over some stuff. And they actually had him on McDojo Life, and they did like a 1 hour thing breaking it down. But now Goob, if you're interested, so if you are a registered sex offender or a criminal, you are not allowed on Meta-based social medias.
Okay.
So now he's doing a big thing where if you're on Meta and you have a history, he'll out you and have his hundreds of
really?
thousands of followers report
Report
you
you.
as a sex offender to get you offline and keep you away from
Wow.
being a creep.
Unlock the power of your online presence with Black Belt Digital Marketing. Their reputation management program ensures your Google business profile is seen by more potential customers. Black Belt Digital Marketing is your full-service digital marketing agency specializing in local SEO and reputation management. Boost your business today. Visit bbdigitalmarketing.com. Your success is their priority.
Special thank you to the crew over at Flow and Roll for all their support. Flow and Roll is renowned for their incredible no-gi rash guards, shorts, and leggings. Flow and Roll has quickly become the premier custom apparel provider for academies big and small throughout the United States. Reach out today to discuss your custom order and ask about their incredible pre-order program. You can send an email to flowandroll@gmail.com or visit their Instagram at flow_n_roll and shoot them a direct message. And yes, they can create an awesome custom gi for your academy as well. Visit flowandroll.com to check out their awesome designs, and while you're there, pick up a Jiu-Jitsu Dummy signature tee exclusively at flowandroll.com. And remember, you'll get 20% off your purchase of t-shirts, rash guards, or gis with code JJD.
Interesting.
So I promote that. Get rid of the sex offenders. That's creepy as shit. Oh, pardon my language. I said shit.
That's okay. We're at the end of the episode.
Whew.
Thank you again for coming on. You're always
Always a
welcome.
pleasure.
We'll figure
Hell
something
yeah.
out. Love to have you back.
I'm moving in. I'm sleeping on that couch right
Check
there.
us out at Jiu-Jitsu Dummies for all the ways to watch, listen, and support. IG, Facebook, TikTok, we're Jiu-Jitsu Dummies Podcast. Obviously, we're on YouTube. You can check out my personal IG at Uncle Milty BJJ.
You can follow me online at MMA Coach Ben. You can follow my gym at ATT PBG, American Top Team Palm Beach Gardens. If you're in the North Palm Beach area, come by and learn how to strangle your friends. And of course, get your dope shirts at Hammer Jiu-Jitsu Shop.
There you
Thank you very
go.
much.
We'll leave it there, guys. Appreciate you watching and listening. Peace, love, Jiu-Jitsu.
Ciao.
We'll